Here's what most people do when they think about target market, is they think about target market like it's a broad group. In fact, do me a favor, close your eyes right now. I knew a coach called Steve who really struggled to get referrals at his B&I group, his networking group. And here's what he worked out. Just close your eyes. And every time he'd get up and do his little kind of talk, he'd say, he'd ask people to look out for a specific thing. And I'm going to tell you the word right now, and I just want you to see what picture comes into your mind. He was asking for referrals. Who's got a really clear picture of what a referral looks like? Nobody, because it's fuzzy. What if I said this? Okay, so this week I'm really looking for a guy that I call Overworked Bob. Overworked Bob is about 40 years old. He works in trades or with his hands. He's been working. He's had his business for years and years and years. He's stressed out because he hasn't got enough sleep, hasn't had a holiday in ages, and the kids miss him, and his wife's fed up. You'll notice overworked Bob because he always looks stressed. He's in a hurry. He's sloppy. Now, picture overworked Bob. Who can see overworked Bob? Right. Open your eyes. It's much easier for you to market to and for them to connect with overworked Bob than it is for referral. So what we're going to do, instead of thinking about your target market and thinking about it like, I work with, professional women between 30 and 45. Like, well, is it 30 or is it 45 or is it 36 or is it, we're going to narrow it super, super down. So I want you to think like this. If you grab a sheet of paper, I'd love it if you could draw this chart with me. Okay, so here's what most of us do. You're awesome coaches. And so the thing we do is we try to, when we go to market, we don't market like marketers, we market like coaches. And what's a coach focused on? Often, if you're a good coach, you're focused on the performance of your clients. It's awesome to be focused on the performance of your clients when you're with your clients. But that doesn't help you with marketing, right? Right? So what's the next step? Well, instead of being focused on, thinking like a coach, well, we could think like a marketer. After all, that's kind of sort of a little bit why we're here. Well, marketers aren't focused on the performance of their clients. They're focused on persuasion. We're always looking for an angle, a hot button, an angle, a lead magnet, a kind of a process that we can use to get people to do what we want. It's persuasion. And I think if you're marketing, that's like a way better intermediate step. But the people who get this right, the people who smash this, they don't think like a coach or like a marketer. They think like a what? Yeah, think like a prospect. Because if a coach is focused on performance of their clients and a marketer is focused on persuasion, what's a prospect thinking about? Their problems themselves, exactly. So, are you clear about that? If you think about the marketing you've been doing for the last 6 months, 12 months, have you been this guy, or that guy? Have a quick conversation with the person next to you. How have you mostly been marketing? If you think about the messages you've been sending, have you been talking about coaching versus consulting and that sort of stuff? Have you been thinking about angles, or have you been thinking like prospects? Ready, set, go. So I think the next step is this, is not to like think about your prospect, is to think as your prospect. Oliver Wendell Holmes once said that a mind once stretched by a new idea never regains its original dimension. So what we're going to do in a minute is we're going to do this crazy activity. We're going to channel your prospect. We're going to be them for a little bit. So we're going to think about them for a bit, and then we're going to switch gears and actually step into their place. There's this NLP technique called perceptual positions. It's like, if there's like two people who are having a problem, you think like one of them and you think like the other one, and then you zoom out to here and you kind of see them both and you get some context. We're used to thinking out here. We're going to zoom in and kind of walk a mile in their shoes a little bit. Does that make sense? Make sense? Yeah. So we're going to channel your avatar. Not think like them, but think as them. There's this great ad man called Leo Burnett. And Leo Burnett's like, great ad agency dude from ages and ages ago. And he says, if you can't think like your customer, you probably shouldn't be in the ad writing business at all. And we're all in the ad writing business. What we're doing today is we're writing some marketing to attract the people. So we've got to think like them.